Pikachu?
Cynthia, often considered one of, if not the best trainer within the Pokemon franchise. I can't lie, her impact on the series as a whole is huge, and I do agree we should be seeing her more often in the games. She provided a big step up in the challenge after the previous Elite Four in Ruby and Sapphire. With the new games of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl now out, Cynthia is back on the agenda again. So I wanted to have a crack at the new games using Cynthia's team. The rules are simple, I can only use Cynthia's team, and if I can, try and keep my levels below whichever gym leader or Elite Four member I'm facing. Well, apart from that, let's just have fun. As usual, if you do like my content, please smash that like button, it really helps, and if you want to keep up to date with my videos, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell for when my next challenge comes out. Right, let's get into it, well, right before I tell you about some drop bears. So 2021 has not been a fun year for us Australians, what with the risk of drop bears coming from all directions and a virus keeping me inside, which meant I've had to spend time with my own wife. With these rubbish times, what better way to keep yourself entertained than collecting Pokemon cards? And the best place to get them is from stingers.com.au. Stingers have the most up-to-date box sets in stock and at good prices. They do live booster pack openings, booster pack battles for you adrenaline junkies, and frequent duck races. They also have a Facebook page where the group often show their pulls, expecting everybody's praise, when in reality we all want to find out where they live and sneak in the middle of the night. Stingers is a local business to me and I really want to see it succeed. And you'll find the website and the Facebook group links below. And remember, drop bears don't fear Pokemon cards. Now it really doesn't matter who I pick for my starter, to be honest, so I'll just go with Chimchar for now. I actually pick up the first member of my team, a Badoo at level 4, which I called Maggie, after Maggie from Gundam Build Divers. I really love that character, I really love that series, Bandai do not stop making Gundam cartoons. With Badoo now in our possession, I have to walk around for ages. What a fun start to this video. Like, I'm not even joking, I had to just sit down and walk around. There's no real quick way of doing this. I can't press the quick button to go, oh, I can do it really quick. No, I just had to walk around for ages. I had to do this because I needed to get Roserade as quick as we can. After a lot of walking around and time wasting, Maggie starts to become fabulous and evolves for the first time. And the good thing is, this being level 5, it learns Mega Drain, which is needed to win the first gym. Now I'm not going through the story because I can't be bothered, we all know it and I covered it in this last video which you can see here in the top, so it's straight to the first gym leader, Roark. Roark? I never can pronounce that correctly. Hang on, step back. I suppose matches against Barry do count. Well, I suppose it does, doesn't it? It's a rival. Maggie go against Starly and I use Mega Drain to take it under half straight away. It tries Quick Attack which does nothing, but I manage to poison it. I then just clear up next turn. I face up next turn against Piplup and one Mega Drain does not kill it. Oh, not Roma fun a little bit, but it was an easy match. Maybe I should have picked Turtwig. Meh, I don't care. Okay, Roark, let's get this done. He starts with Geodude, and I use a Growth knowing the Geodude is not going to be able to kill me, but I can kill it, and Defense Curl's not going to help it, so I do it again to gain more power. On the third turn, I finish it with one shot. The Mighty Onyx comes in and I activate its Sturdy ability. It throws some rocks at me, which does absolutely nothing, and one more Mega Drain is enough. Finally, it's Cranidos, and I have the speed on the Dino, and one Mega Drain sends it back to the Ice Age. Whatever it is, it just kills it. Pretty much an easy win, and that's all I'm going to say about that. With the first gym done, I can now go online and make a trade. Now I know people will start wondering, what the hell's going on? I want to make this very clear. I wanted to start the challenge with a pain in the arse, Spiritomb. However, you can't trade straight away until you've gained your first gym badge. Now I know people are going to be commenting, and I want you to comment, well, you can get a Spiritomb from that well thing, and the trade is cheating. Well, yes and no. I am not spending goddamn hours of my time going underground to talk to the stupid NPCs through that quest. I can't be bothered, I really can't. If you think I'm cheating, I don't care. Remember, I'm not a perfectionist. I'm just a fat, lazy individual who'd rather drink beer and eat chicken wings. Well, to be fair, if you're watching this, just pause this video for a second, go get your beer and some chicken wings. Have you got them? Let's carry on. Now, getting hold of the Spiritomb is from my good friend Lincoln. He spent time bench pressing mountains, yep, the guy is absolutely huge, and sent me a Spiritomb egg. I then walked around for a while to get this thing and hatch it, and voila, one Spiritomb. I decided to call it Horny Casper. Oh, so you won't allow penis, but you will allow horny. Okay, Nintendo, I see you there. No sooner did we get the Horny Ghost, still can't believe I got away with that one, I could obtain the third member of the team, Shellos, who I call a Goombag. Now, if you don't know what a goon bag is, well, yeah, having lived in Australia for 4 years now, I know all about it. Yuck, 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 yuck. The next gym leader is Gardenia, and Goonbag is not going to be getting involved in this fight because he'll be absolutely useless. I start with Maggie against Cherubi and start using Growth because why not? The Cherubi just sits there and lets me power up and only throws Dazzling Gleam back at me, which is useless. After becoming a literal god, I throw some magical leaves at it and kill it in one. The Turtwig is next and it gets hit by the magical leaves. Like, why are they magic, by the way? They're just leaves. Finally, it is my evolved kin, who goes at me with Poison Sting, recognizing my power. I use Magical Leaf, but it does absolutely nothing. It becomes a bit of back and forth between me and it for a while, until Gardenia wants to use a potion to send it back to full health again. Eventually, Poison Sting does knock me out, but I can send in the Horny Casper, who's in a great position. I get hit with Stun Spore, which is not good, but it doesn't matter as one payback is enough to KO it and earn my second badge. After winning my second badge, I meet up with Cynthia, my mum, or my clone. I don't know what she is. Either way, she'll be my dinner at some point. Oh god, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? But enough thinking about that, Barry is back again for round 2. He starts with a Starly, and I start with Maggie, which seems like a terrible matchup, but I'm a lot higher level. I use Stun Spore to clip its wings, whilst it uses Double Team. I then start using a Growth to power up, whilst it actually goes on the attack and plucks me. With my newfound power, however, I'm able to finish it out with some leaves. Ponyta is next, and I ignore Reason and go after it, but it knocks me out. I send out my Goonbag for its debut and get hit with a Growl. Well done, Barry. Although you get lucky, because critical Water Pulse can't kill it. Thankfully though, Tackle does nothing next hit and Water Pulse is enough. Third up is Roselia, and I switch into the Ghost, who hits me with a Stun Spore straight away. As we've seen through this, it's not a bad thing because Payback hits like a truck when going second and it takes it out in one. Finally it's Prinlup, and Barry throws some rocks around me for some reason whilst Payback does over half. The next turn I use a Shadow Sneak, but it's not enough to get the kill. However, his Bubble Beam does absolutely nothing. Oh, then I'm paralysed. Bubble Beam nearly kills me, I'm paralysed again, and Bubble Beam does kill me. Luckily I have Goonbag left, who's able to take the Bubble Beam and slap it with some mud to get the win. My third badge was against Maylene and her fighting types. I send out my Ghost to go against Meditite, who immediately switches out for Machoke, giving me a free nasty plot boost. The Machoke uses Rot Tomb, but I hold out and throw a Psychic at it to kill it in one. Meditate comes back and it uses Flash, which is just great, and I end up missing the next hit. Now for some reason it uses Bulk Up next turn, and I do manage to hit it with a Psychic to kill it. Lucario, her Ace, comes out and it misses a Screech, allowing me to hit it with a Psychic. It then misses another one and I can confuse it. It then misses a third Screech and Psychic sends it into the red. Maylene tries to use a potion to save it, but it doesn't matter as I use another Psychic and finish it off in one to get my third badge and stamp my chest. Against Crash Awake, well, this should be easy, shouldn't it really? He starts with Gyarados that goes against Maggie. However, it has Ice Fang, which is just terrible. I do get a Stun Spore off though, but I then miss the Leech Seed before falling. I send out Horny Casper to confuse it and get lucky with the Paralysis. The next turn it hits itself and I can use my first nasty plot. Not seeing much else, I do it again and watch it smacks itself again. I decide not to risk it for the kill, and a +4 Psychic is enough to kill it. Next is Quagsana, and I think this thing is slow, so I use Psychic and one is enough to say bye bye. Finally it was Floatzel, who hits me with an Ice Fang and freezes me. Oh come on. However, next turn I manage to thaw out and hit it back with a Psychic to kill it in one. Hurrah! 4 badges obtained with just a little bit luck at this point. No sooner have I walked out the door, but Barry wants to step up to me again. I just don't have the love for him that I do for Blue, and I don't think I ever will. He again starts with Starly, but Goonbag now has Ice Beam equipped and I can finish it in one shot. It does seem silly I have access to this move so early. Roselia is next and I leave out Goonbag, who gets paralysed and then killed the following turn. Horny Casper is able to come in, and although it does get seeded, it can kill it off in one Psychic. When Prinlup comes in, I decided not to mess around and switch back to Maggie. Maggie takes the charm, which is useless against it, and hits back with a Magical Leaf to do over half. After Barry makes his Penguin use a Bubble Beam, he switches it out for his horse, which is actually the smart thing to do. I then have to switch back to my Ghost and watch as it uses Agility. I can then use his Shadow Sneak and do a chunk, and then it growls back at me. When does a horse growl? Can it growl? I don't think it can. It can neigh. It can go, or it can't really growl. I know that because the wife has a horse. Sorry, I'm going off plot here, but you know, come on, logic. Oh no, it's a fire horse. It doesn't really make sense either. Sorry, I know I'm rambling. The next turn I hit it with Psychic to knock it out. See, back to script. Out comes Prinlup again, who's on its last legs and could do nothing to stop me killing it off. Oh, it survived. Okay, then I killed it off with a Shadow Sneak. I decided to give myself a makeover and get the Cyber Style to look way more fashionable. Yeah, darling. And soon after, I meet with Cynthia again, and it looks like I'm squaring up to her. Like, it really does. Look at the arms. Hey, do you want some love? I'll kick your head in. I'll absolutely batter you. Look at those little arms. Hey. In more positive news, a little while later, Goombag becomes a Gastrodon to give the team some extra bulk, and I need it before going into the 5th gym leader, Fantine. As we watch her go, ho, 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 ho. Shouldn't it be ho, 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 ho? I don't know, makes sense of that one. Regardless of one's ability to read, she starts with Drifloon against Goombag. Damn, look at my dress. It makes me look better than yours, girlfriend. We trade opening blows as the hot air balloon uses fly, and I hit it back with an ice beam. I then get excited as I get the freeze, so I recover to prepare for more battles. It stays frozen while I hit it again and nearly kill it, but oddly enough, Fantina doesn't give it a potion, just lets it die. She next sends in Gengar, which is a scary thing to look at this point in the game. It uses Confuse Ray because that's what Gengars do, whilst I break through and use Mud Slap, just to be a pain. The next turn I hit it again, and now she's struggling to get a hit on me, whilst I just keep plodding away with a Mud. It finally does actually get a hit on me, but it doesn't do a great deal of damage. Fantina uses a Hyper Potion to heal the Gengar, and I just keep throwing that Mud. At one point I do decide to use a Surf, which immediately gets disabled thanks to its ability. Cheers, mate. The Gengar is now useless against me due to its accuracy problems, leaving me to easily finish it off with the Mud. Finally it is Miss Maggie Big Thingy, and I still have all 3 of my team left. However, that dream ends when it throws some magical leaves at me and removes one of my pieces off the board. I send in Maggie while it disappears because of Phantom Force, and I just power up with Growth. When it returns, my ability is able to poison it, but I miss the Stun Spore, which is a pain. It then goes for a Confused Ray, but I'm able to get a Leech Seed off to get some of my health back, and I just let it chip away its health bit by bit. Her Ghost tries to disappear one more time, but when it returns it can't finish me off and walks back into a +1 Giga Drain to finish it off. 5 badges down and 3 more to go. And now unfortunately I have to give a bit of an apology here, because my computer ended up breaking when I actually transferred the data from this to that. It ended up corrupting and I sadly don't have the video footage of me fighting Barry. I really do apologise. In the midst of that, with the computer breaking, I also caught COVID, so that's why things went a bit haywire. So my deepest apologies. I can actually finally add another member of the team. Well, I get the egg from Riley, and this has taken way too long. What's also taken too long is getting this stone, so I can now evolve Maggie into Roserade to give me a massive power boost. I then went and rode my bike until Riolu comes out of its egg, and I call him No Ash No, because Ash should have not allowed Lucario to be his Mega. Get your Charizard back, pronto. Gym Battle 6 is back on against Byron, and he starts with Bronzor against Goombag. I throw out a Surf, which doesn't really do a lot, but it uses Trick Room. However, the even better thing, Flash Cannon is doing nothing to me. I can then use Surf and not really worry about it hurting me back. Next is Steelix, who doesn't like getting wet, but it holds on. It uses Earthquake back at me, but this time I hold on and finish it off. Also, how bad is Roark's mouth movements? How now, brown cow? His final Pokemon is Bastadoon, and I have the speed, so Surf's up. Yeah, that's corny, but what's not corny is it missing the Stone Edge. I get a second wave in and activate its berry, and it misses me again. Kermit the Frog refuses to give up because its mouth movements He refuses to give up with his last words, but it matters not as I wipe it out with the final Surf. 6 badges done, 2 more to go. Now whilst on my adventure to go get my Milotic, I was plodding along doing my thing, and then I get a tweet from a YouTuber called Tion. Now if you all don't know, Tion is a good friend of mine, but he's also a big YouTuber, saying this. Yes, I'm absolutely seething, because you little prick, you knew I was doing this video. I even asked you, I even told you I was going to do this video. Oh, great idea, HPT, I better steal it. You know what, I trusted you, and you broke my trust. You know, I keep seeing these things on the internet. Let's have this YouTuber fight this YouTuber. Do you know what, Tion? I will fight you. I want to fight you. I want to get you in a boxing ring for 5 minutes, my friend. I'll literally destroy you. Now, I may be the oldest PokeTuber around, but I'm over 100 kilos and 62% fat, so I'm absolutely going to destroy you. Although, I only say this because I know, Chaotic Meatball wants to fight Johnston. I think he wants to use his karate skills or something. I think it'll be a bit like this.
I'd like to see him come at me with all that I'm a hard bastard stuff. I'd say, put the baseball bat down. Send the minders home. It's just you and me. Skin on skin.
However, wouldn't it be funny if Johnson was to watch this video and call him out, and then turns up to fight Chaotic Meatball, and it ends up like this?
What you been saying? What are you talking about? What's all this I've been hearing? Some shit about you think you're harder than me. Where have you heard this? Some extra I've been doing the same with said he heard it over here.
You've been trying to impress the extras by telling them you're harder than me.
I haven't said anything.
Am I letting the cat out of the bag?
And then, after joking about all this, the Andrew Collette Show released this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He knew I was doing the Cynthia run as well. You know what? I swear to God, I'll take on both of you in a boxing ring. How many subscribers does he have? 41,000! Oh, you know what? I'm not bitter at all. There is no bitterness in me that he's got 8 times the amount of subscribers I have. No bitterness whatsoever. I am going to fight both of you. I'm going to smack you to the ends of the world. Come on, sunshine. Get your ass over to Australia. I'll fight both of you. And Tion, you are my little whipping boy. That's what you are. I'm going to have Jake McCauley in my corner, and I'm going to batter both of you. Let's just say there's some beef in the YouTube world. There's not really, but you know. Let's make some drama. Come on, both of you. Text me back, message me. Everyone, let them know. I want to fight them both. Hand to hand. I also want to fight H-Trainer Liam. I don't know why. He's a nice guy. I just think he'd be up for a fight. That's all. You know, a friendly bit of a whoop-whoop banter. We'll wait and see if he gets back to me on that one as well. Look, I know I had to get that out of me, but look, I was not looking forward to getting Myotic, or should I say, Feebas. Because if you didn't know, in the previous games, it was a freaking nightmare, because you'd be fishing on random tiles. However, it's a lot simpler this time, because now there's an online website where you can just give a lotto ID in, and it tells you what squares to fish on, and it 100% works, because this was my first attempt, and boom, a fish. I called it Swanee because it's soon going to become a beautiful swan. And talking about late boomers, we're also going to pick up the final member of this team called Gibble, which I called the Lord because once it becomes Garchomp, it becomes an absolute god. Now going back to Feebas, evolving it into Milotic is also a pain in the arse. However, it used to be. You can actually do it a lot easier in this game. You just play this Poffin game, which looks like it's a pain in the backside, but it's not really. It took me about 15 minutes, I reckon, to get all this, and then you just feed this thing Poffins, you know, and it's done. Well, if it could actually catch. Look at it. Bah, bah, bah. Honestly, the Poffin method is a much quicker way of doing it, rather than looking for a scale in the underground. It's a pain in the arse. But once it's full of Poffins, I level up once more, and here we go, evolution time, as Swanee becomes Milotic. No Ashino becomes Lucario, and Gibble becomes a Gabite, and the team is coming together very nicely. After a lot of power boosting, I go fight Candice and back onto this gym leader challenge. Candice starts with Snova against No Ashno, who starts with an Aura Sphere to smash it in one hit. Next is Sneasel, which has the speed on me and uses Home Claws, which is a waste of time as it can't survive an Aura Sphere. Medicham could be a problem, so I bring in Horny Casper, who I've not seen for a while, and it's immune to any fighting moves. I come back with a Shadow Sneak and do over half damage, but then it hits me with an Ice Punch to freeze me. Oh, come on. I hold out to see if it'll break out, but it doesn't and the ghost falls. I then bring in Goombag and I use Surf to see it off. She brings in an Ace of Bombness though, and I know Goombag's gonna die, but I want No Ashno in fresh, so I let it fall to Giga Drain. I bring in the Doggo and throw another Sphere, and it does about 3/4 of damage, and it kicks the berry in. Like my last video, the Snow Beast uses a Veil to weaken the damage, so I use Swords Dance to break through that. But then the Snow Beast uses an Earthquake and it leaves me with 4 HP. This works out great though, because one Drain Punch is all I need to finish it off, and leaves me with just one more badge to go. Now the only bit of story I'm going to cover is the battle against Cyrus. He starts with Honchkrow against No Ashno, so not fearing the bird, I use Swords Dance to power up. I then throw a Drain Punch at it and kill it in one. Next was Gyarados, and I decided to use Metal Claw, which does absolutely nothing, and get hit with an Earthquake, which hits me into the red. I switch into Maggie, who can take an Earthquake, and it stuns the monster to slow it down. However, it doesn't work as an Ice Fang kills Maggie off. I throw out Horny Casper and use Nasty Plot to power up, but Waterfall does an absolute chunk. I try Shadow Ball, but it doesn't do enough to kill it, and I get finished off, and now I'm struggling. I send in Swanee for its first match, and Cyrus heals the beast. I throw an Ice Beam at it, and it doesn't do much, but this time, neither does Earthquake. This means I can use Recover until I get to a safe level, and when I'm ready, I kill it off with an Ice Beam. His Weavile goes underground for the fun of it, but Dig does absolutely nothing to me, so I can recover with ease. I use Surf back at it, and it does about a third. Like the Gyarados battle, it becomes the same as I can just recover and then attack when safe. Finally, it's Crobat, and Cross Poison does a little bit, whilst I do half with Ice Beam. I get it poisoned on its next attack and try to recover. I just needed to accept Swanee was going to fall, so I hit it again with an Ice Beam and then send it to the red. Swanee does fall the next hit, but is able to bring in the Lord in for its first battle. It uses an Air Cutter against it, which does nothing, and our Lord can finish it off with one hit to destroy all the big boys' plans. We are now nearing the end of the game with only 7 matches to go before I rest my weary legs. The The first of those is the final gym match against Faulkner, as I was expecting this to be an easy one. I started Goomba against the beautiful Raichu, so no vault switching for you this time. Raichu starts with a Surf, which does nothing, whilst I use an Earth Power, but it has a Berry to weaken the damage. The next turn we repeat the dance and Raichu then falls. When the Apiom comes out, I bring in No Ash No, who takes a Thunderbolt but gets all its health back through Drain Punching the monkey. It takes 2 hits because the monkey had a berry, but it does fall. Next is Octillery, and I use a Swords Dance to power up and take it Octazooka. What were they smoking when they named that? I hit it with a Drain Punch and then just finish it off with one. Finally, it's Luxray who hits me hard with a Thunder Fang, but we have Drain Punch to get our health back straight away. Luxray tries to finish me, but then gets the flinch. But that only speeds me up as I can get the kill in the next turn. This means the gym leaders have all now been beaten, and it's now time for the Elite Four. But before we go to knock on their door, Gabite evolves into the Garchomp, and Cynthia's team is now in its full glory. First of all, I've got to give Barry a smacking, and he sends out Staraptor, and it goes after Swanee. Intimidate is used, and whoopsie daisy, up goes my attack. The Staraptor uses a U-turn to bring in Roserade, which seems odd as he gets smacked with an Ice Beam to fall in one. The bird comes out again, and this time it uses Rain Dance and hangs on with a Focus Sash. Its final move is Close Combat, which makes such a weird move setup, and I can finish it with an Ice Beam. Out comes his Fire Horse, and well, the rain is up. Yeah, that just seemed really odd. It uses Mega Horn, which I take, and then I wipe out the Rapidash in one. Barry Starter in Polion is next, and I decide to switch into No Ash No, who takes the Grass Knot well. My Doggo uses a Drain Punch and nearly gets the kill, and it only takes one more to finish it. The godlike Snorlax is out, and I feel sorry for it because it goes down in one punch, and we all know that's going to happen. Barry's final Pokemon is Heracross, and I try Metal Claw and don't do a lot, but the Heracross powers up with the Swords Dance. However, our next dance leaves both our healths really low. No Ash No ends up the winner using Extreme Speed, which allows me to smack him out of my way so I can go see the Elite Four. So, the Elite Four. Here are the levels I'm going in at. I could try and get the team to equal to Cynthia's levels, but after a while I thought, nah, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to take the team whatever level they are. However, I do know I want to be lower than Cynthia's team. For example, her dual Garchomp is level 66, and I know I'm not going to be that high. I do have some rare candies in the back, but I'm only going to use them if I'm desperate. I could go get more TMs and items, but I just can't be bothered, so I'm just going to deal with it as it is. I'm going to keep trying this Elite Four, but if I get to a point where I cannot beat the Elite Four without redoing it again and again, that's it, the challenge is failed. Here we go, 5 matches for Eternal Glory, or 1,000 YouTube views, whichever one comes first. Oh, you know I'm all bitter. Aaron, the big Elite Four bug member, is first. He starts with Dustox against the Lord. As I have no fear of it, I use a Swords Dance, and Bug Buzz does absolutely nothing, so I can just power up some more. Well, why not? Bug Buzz is rubbish. I go after it with a Shadow Claw, which does not get the kill, but it means Aaron can be healed. But I learnt my lesson and kill it off with a Dragon Claw. Heracross is next and gets a Brick Break in before I hit it back to finish it in one. The Beautifly is out and goes down the same way. Vesper Queen, oh, I wanted this dead so much after the last video, and it goes down in one. Finally, it's Drapion and uses Night Slash and getting the critical to kill me off. I send out No Ash No, and it's slower, and it digs an Earthquake. A Drain Punch gives me a chance of surviving, but surviving I do not. I have to send out Swanee, who takes a critical Cross Poison and throws back a Surf to finish the job. One Elite Four member done. I now have to make my second apology because I now have lost the footage from the next 3 battles of the Elite Four. This again came down to the footage being corrupted when it was transferred from one medium to another, and also because of the mess with me getting COVID. I have now fully recovered from COVID, which is a good news. I hope everyone is well with it if you did get it. I want to let you know that I absolutely smashed the Elite Four. It was always going to be a case of I smashed the Elite Four. Now it's just got to fight Cynthia, as she is the main problem. So sincere apologies again. Hopefully that's not going to happen going forward. But now the main event is here, the reason why you may have even clicked this video to begin with. As you can see, I'm going into this battle with a team around level 58, 59, except from Swanee, and I'm super determined to do this. I will show you, Andrew. Yes, I remain and always will be bitter. I start the battle with the Lord going against Spiritomb. I use 2 Swords Dance whilst it's hitting me hard. I use a Dragon Claw and it's enough to take it out in one. Next is Milotic, but even a +4 Dragon Claw is not enough to kill it, which means the Lord falls from Ice Beam. I wonder if Maggie is faster than the snake, and it turns out to be correct as I can finish off with a Giga Drain. Oddly enough, she sends out Gastrodoom, which is an easy one-hit kill, and another Giga Drain to make it 3-1 to me. It then becomes a Roserade versus Roserade match, so I switch into the Horny Casper, who receives a Sludge Bomb and takes it well. And as you can probably tell, that is not Horny Casper, that is No Ash No. And when I started editing this, I realised something's gone wrong, and this was actually the whole complete attempt of another run against it. What must have happened is that again the footage had corrupted, or I'd lost it when I transferred all the files, and to be honest, I was pretty devastated. I didn't know what I could do. I couldn't find the footage, and I couldn't re-record the footage because I'd saved after beating the Elite Four, which meant I was back at the house again. And if I tried to do it, my levels wouldn't be what they are now, so you wouldn't be seeing what I wanted you to see. And I was absolutely devastated about this because I just messed up on the 3 Elite Four members prior, so I wanted to show you guys what actually happened, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. Feel free to slag me in the comments below, but with what's gone on, I didn't just want to throw this video away without, having a laugh and getting you guys to enjoy the video up until this point, and maybe you can call that bad editing, maybe you can call that a balls up. With everything got on, my head not being right because of COVID, the fact that I had to transfer my computer's data because it just went bye-bye, I'm hence recording this on a Mac now. I had a friend had to lend me one. This is how bad things have got at the moment. And unfortunately, yeah, it just didn't work, but I did do the battle. And to say what actually happened prior is that through all these attempts, I realised I couldn't win. The Garchomp was just too strong. Even if I had my Gastrodon and my Milotic to try and fight it with Ice Beams, it had a Berry to try and reduce the damage, and then it could just sweep from my whole team after a Swords Dance. It was only after Swanee went against her Gastrodon that she started using Rock Tomb. It might have lowered my speed, but in fact what it did was raise my special attack twice, which I completely forgot about competitive. And through this, it meant I could absolutely sweep the whole team with Milotic. Milotic had +6 attack and was going nowhere, and there was nothing she could have done. It got down to the stage where it was just Milotic against her last 3, and because of the +6 attack, it absolutely dominated her team, and I was over the moon because I was about to throw the console out the window. I think I'd been trying for 2-3 hours and I really was losing patience. At the time, when I did this prior recording, with all the script and everything, I was joking and say how much better than I am than Andrew Collette and how much better than I am at Tion. But I'm taking the piss. If you know me well enough, I know these guys and they are nice guys, and it's just me having a bit of fun and a bit of banter. Yes, feel free to slag me off that this all went tits up, and it kind of might have ruined the end of the video, and if you have been watching, I do appreciate that you've been doing that. And I do appreciate and apologise, for not giving you the ending that some of you may have wanted. I may be rambling a bit now, but I swear to God this was all done and I really did enjoy it. I do have another video and I'm really hoping that all the other projects I haven't now been wrecked. That's my big fear because I have nearly 1.5 years worth of footage, if you're going by every 3 weeks, to put forward, but we're going to have to wait and see. My next video will be in 3 weeks time, and it will be the debut of my first ever race where I'll be doing Nidoking versus Nidoqueen in Pokemon Blue. Hopefully the footage is going to be all fine. I'm going to find out tomorrow what's going on, whether I can get it good and where I can get it all sorted for you guys. But once again, I really put my hands up and I apologise for what's happened, but I hope you enjoyed what I did put out. But until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye bye. Oh yeah, and I did it at a much lower level than you, Andrew and Tion.